tell me about all the horrible things about the music industry, because I can only imagine it's as abusive as all other entertainment industries. You know, I was talking to an artist the other day privately, and he's like, dude, you can have millions of plays on Spotify and make like $1,000. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds horrible. So how do musicians who are up and coming, how do they make money these days? I mean, I imagine the reason U2 and Guns N' Roses and the Rolling Stones are still touring is because that's the only way to make money in the modern music ecosystem. Maybe I'm totally wrong. Maybe they just love playing music still at 60 years old. Okay. So tell me the ins and outs of the music industry in 5 minutes.
Go.
Okay, cool. I mean, I'll take this one.
Oh yeah, you, Kyle.
I have a different perspective on that maybe than some artists. I think a lot of people, and my perspective has even changed over the last 4 years. Because I came fresh out of music school, just, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, just thinking, oh man, I just got to meet that one person and I just got to write the right song. And it's not true. You have to build a business, and you have to have a client acquisition system. Yeah. And you have to sell people things, because tickets are things. Yeah. Tickets are just a merchandise item. You're, at the end of the day, as a musician, you're a service provider. And I think people forget that. And that's when they get taken advantage of. And that's probably when they start to tell horror stories. Right. Because you don't get what you deserve as a musician. You get what you negotiate. And if you have, and that's just, it's a business truth.
Say that again.
And so you as a person, as a musician, and as a business owner, and life in general, you don't get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate, right? I learned that really quickly, being in a couple of deals that were not in my favor, that cost me thousands of dollars to get out of. It was a very poignant memory that caused me to think twice about who I work with. Right. And it's the artists that are thinking somebody is going to swoop in and save the day. These are the people that get taken advantage of, versus it's people who break everything down and say, hey, my revenue is coming from 10 different sources. Here's everything to the cent of where my money is coming in. Here's how all of my music, which is property, by the way, here's all my intellectual property. I'm going to treat each of them like a rental house. I'm going to treat each of them like a digital asset that is collecting money from me passively on the side. Because then all of a sudden it's not just, oh man, like I have millions of streams and I'm not making money from Spotify. How else are you monetizing your music? If you own that, and if you own the masters, or a large percentage of the masters, like we do for our music, we have a team of people that allow us to create music kind of en masse, kind of like a machine, and we own the masters, right? And so then we can go and we can place that for sync, and Spotify should be part of it. But then also you're growing an email list, you're making sales offers to your customers every single month. It's basic digital marketing. Like, it's probably very similar to how you guys run the business for Songbird City. I'm a strong proponent for independent artists should be treating their career the same as it's a digital e-commerce business. Wow. Because then you're in control. You're not waiting for an A&R to come to your show, which, by the way, they don't do anymore. If they're going to sign you, it's because it's insurance against the possibility that you might blow up, because then they don't want you with one of the other two majors. Right. They just want to, you have to build yourself. So if that's the truth, you might as well take a little longer and own the whole pie and own all of the revenue that's created. It's, hope marketing is the reason so many artists are kind of just upset about the whole thing. Is they have this vague notion of, I should get paid from somewhere. Maybe, I guess it's only Spotify. Or they take the other approach where, I guess the only thing I can do is grind 300 dates a year of touring, which some people enjoy that. I particularly don't. I want to do like 50 to 100 dates max, because we want to take our kids on the road. So it leaves you with the problem of, how am I going to make up the rest of that revenue? And until artists want to face that problem head on, they're always going to be just kind of venting about how, the music vision, because it's not the way it was.
Did you learn? Oh, sorry. Did you learn any of that in music school, or are they just doing the creative side and the music side, and then you got to teach yourself business?
Well, if we were going to music school now, I want to give them the benefit of the doubt, and maybe they would teach on some of this stuff. But at that time, no, it's like, hey, here's how hit songwriters wrote songs. Here's how you record a great product if you're an audio major. Here's how you put on a show. Like for our senior recital, we had to put on an entire show, write everything, score everything out. Like it was very heavy on the performance side.
Right.
And now, granted, the elephant in the room is the song has to be good and the artist has to be good. Like that should be a given, but it's not enough. That's the problem. We weren't taught how to make money.
Those are table stakes, right? There's some guy from Jersey toiling away at 70 years old, still playing coffee shops, who could have been Bruce Springsteen. But he didn't grow his own business. He didn't treat it like an e-commerce business, which I know that was a different time when Bruce Springsteen was coming up, but I'm just using that as a parallel. I love what you said, that we don't, as human beings, as business people, we don't get what we deserve. We get what we negotiate, or we get what we work for. So I love this concept of, you're like, I got to build an email list, man. You want to sell stuff? Email list is still the way to do it. So Sarah, what do you have to add on to that? Because I thought that was super insightful. Right on. That's going to be a clip, Kyle. But what do you have to add on to that, Sarah?
I mean, gosh, for one, like what a great attitude to have about it, right? Because no one's going to be, oh my gosh, my dog is barking. Who's going to actually
hear it? Can't hear it.
Can't hear you. Good.
Oh, good. Okay. Who's going to be a bigger advocate for you than yourself, right? With anything in life, as a musician, as an artist, as a business owner, like you're going to be your biggest champion. But I think having the right perspective and attitude about it, like what Kyle said, like it's more than just, oh, Spotify's not paying me enough, or I'm doing this. Like you really have to work for what you love. And as a musician, as an artist, you have to have thick skin. You have to persevere. You have to really believe in your product, believe in yourself, and also have your identity, you know, not just in what you're doing. I think that's really important to keep you grounded. Is this isn't my everything. This isn't who I am as a person as a whole, like family, like having other things, you know, God, whatever that looks like. But I just think perspective is everything in life in general. But as an artist and as a musician, I think for you to be happy and enjoy what you're doing long-term is doing like what Kyle said. And also just understanding that, you know, it's not going to happen overnight, understanding that it's a journey and it's a process. And, I think having good people in your corner is huge as well. But, you know, you've got to keep the fire and the passion for it alive. And I think when you have the right perspective and the right attitude about that, and you don't just have an attitude of like, oh, I deserve this, or I've earned this, or, you know, I'm this good, because everybody's good. Everybody's talented.
That's a good word, Sarah.
But honestly, I think the people that make it and the people that stick with it are the people that have the right people in their corner, have the right perspective and the right attitude. Because you could be a victim all day long, and, you know, but it's the people that stick with it and have the right attitude that are going to see the win.
I love that.
That was so good.
Yeah. Attitude is key.
It's key. It's not to say that it's not hard. I mean, I've been very vocal about how I've got burnt out as an artist and as a songwriter, but also because it was only about me, right? Like I was pursuing something just for me. And I think when you can bring other people on the journey and you make it about other people too, it's more rewarding.
Absolutely.